Hey guys, I'm Tim and welcome to the Mr. Maple Show. Today we got a 10 at 10 for you, so get excited.
Guys, today is the 10 at 10 for May 23rd of 2023. We are under 1 week to go to open house, so make plans if you haven't already. Come see us here next Monday on Memorial Day. That'll be May 29th. Now we'll be open from 8 to 4 that day, so come see us. Hard cutoff at 4. Some amazing plants out here, guys. You'll definitely want to be part of our annual Mr. Maple Festival.
Guys, if you don't know anything about me and Matt, we're MrMaple.com. We're a mail order business. We ship directly to your door. So check us out on MrMaple.com. Today, these 10 items are getting listed, but wait, there's actually 20 different items being listed on today's 10 at 10. So sign up for our weekly emails and you'll get the full listing of 20 that are being listed today at 10 a.m. They're going live 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I mean, some of these plants are gonna sell out really quickly. Some of these are rock stars. And of course, we've got some awesome 2 gallons around again this week as well.
Guys, the 2 gallons were a hit last week. We're bringing it back. We'll kick things off over here with Acer japonicum vitafolium. That's this beast right here. Acer japonicum vitafolium has some of the largest foliage of all Acer japonicums.
Sometimes referred to as the grapevine maple because they said the leaves are as big as grape leaves. You know, as a full moon Japanese maple, this thing really has those dinner plate size foliage with some excellent fall color. Now we are going to have it today in 2 gallons, some XL 2 gallons, but I'm also going to have some available also in 1 gallons. So we're going to have it in a couple different sizes today. But this 2 gallon size, as you can see, some awesome sizes.
Huge fan of this one, guys. It is probably one of the first japonicums to really get super popular. Sometimes you can almost refer to this one almost like grapevine size leaves. It gets those large, almost tropical looking foliage. If you can give this one some late day shade, the foliage gets even larger. And it's not uncommon for vitafolium to have dinner plate size foliage on it. One of my favorite Acer japonicums. It's a fun one to go through seeds from. It's a really fun plant overall. And the Acer japonicums just bring so much texture to the garden. Now, this is going to go out and look really interesting next to any of our other Japanese maples because of that massive foliage.
Guys, coming up next, we've got Acer palmatum Scarlet Princess. This is some awesome size 2 gallons. These have been staked up to really get a lot of height to them. But what Scarlet Princess is, it's the witch's broom that was found by our good friend Tom and Nancy Ash on the coast of North Carolina as a witch's broom on Crimson Queen. So it's slower growing, tighter and compact with some of that brighter red color that you get with Crimson Queen.
I've seen some people sell this one as Ash's Scarlet Princess. I got it from Tom originally myself. And when I got it from, we had it listed, you know, the name he had on us, Scarlet Princess. It is an amazing compact form. Really brings the color too. I like how pink it can get. It gets some really nice shades of pink. Now it is one of the dwarfer Japanese maples. We have staked these up for height. So you'll see these are already at well over, I'd say over 3 feet in height already. So there's some XL2s here going on, but these are a slow growing, small, compact form. So one of the smallest lace leaves, but already in a great size.
Yeah, I mean, for a slow growing Crimson Queen type, I mean, think Crimson Queen, but smaller, more compact, more dense. And these have been staked up so they get some of that height to start out with, but they're not going to get very big. They're still a dwarf red Japanese maple.
Now you guys asked for them to be back. We've got Catalina Yatsabusa back on the 10 at 10. This is that variegated Makujaku Yatsabusa with some interesting little prawn-like growth on top of it. I love how, especially in the summer, all the new growth on this one is super irregular.
Yeah, the irregular growth is that you find on almost like a variegated sport, and this was a variegated sport on Makujaku Yatsabusa. I mean, it is so unique, so different. Catalina Yatsabusa actually grows a little more upright with its dwarf habit, whereas something like we've offered lily pad before is shorter and wider.
Yeah, super great one for container garden, for conifer gardens, or any of the maple family. If you're a big Makujaku family collector, you got to have a Catalina. It's a fun plant. Some of the older growth gets kind of fat and irregular, but that new growth is super skinny. I mean, it almost reminds me almost like a Manna Sato, how thin and swirly some of the growth gets. It's got a little bit of things I like about Dr. Seuss going on. It's got a lot of interest to it, and it's a variegated Makujaku Yatsabusa that if you hadn't added to your collection yet, I highly recommend it.
Makes me think of the Catalina wine mixer. So guys, next up we've got, back by popular demand, they keep selling out every time we can get them listed. It's Acer japonicum makujaku, also known as the dancing peacock, also known as aconitifolium.
Everybody in the chat says Matt can't pick up a tree without weeding it, and it's true. I can't help it. If I see weeds in it, I have to take them out. Weeds are always free here at Mr. Maple. but we're dishing out some great maples today too. Makujaku is one of my favorite Acer japonicums. Classic fall colors. Now this one in my yard has been getting more orange with reds and yellows in it. It is a showstopper in any season. I'm a huge fan of this one. It has more of a dissected style leaf, so even though it's an Acer japonicum, it has a little bit more heavily divided foliage to it. Great plant to be growing, and you can kind of see where it gets the peacock name from the foliage. The leaf itself kind of looks like a peacock feathers, especially when it hits that peak fall color.
And when that fall color starts, it can often start with reds, yellows, and oranges, all from the outside of the leaf coming in, really giving that peacock display. I mean, for y'all who love the full moon Japanese maple Acer japonicums, we've got 2 for you here in the 10 at 10 video today. So 2, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, great plant here, guys. And as always with the Acer japonicums, you get exceptional flowering in the early spring. Just unique plants. I love how different they are. You know, basically a cousin of the Japanese maple, grass onto the same rootstock, but I love how uniquely different they are amongst other Japanese maples. All right, guys, back in stock. Another popular one hitting today, Acer palmatum Firefly.
Guys, this is one of the most premier variegated plants. It's one of our favorite reticulated Japanese maples, and it keeps putting on a show all throughout the season, from pinks to purple borders to a white reticulation. I mean, this thing keeps changing all throughout the season with an outstanding color.
Now, we named this one here at our nursery, so I am a little biased, but I'll go on record and say this is my favorite reticulated Japanese maple of all time. Now, something may come out tomorrow that blows my socks off, but for right now, I haven't seen anything that beats Firefly. I'm a huge fan of what this one does. You know, we tell everybody this every time, but get your cameras ready. It changes every single week, especially in that early spring. You're getting so much diversity of color going on in this one. And guys, an added bonus to Firefly is it's a very narrow form. So it's not going to be columnar exactly, but it's the skinniest, narrowest form of a reticulated.
Yeah, where a lot of the ghost types in Akashigatsusawa often have a little bit more of a spreading out habit as they grow upwards with those semi-pendulous branches, Firefly has a more upright habit. And so this one fits in a lot of spaces and makes smaller spaces and makes more of a tree form with that reticulated style, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, all the branching arches upward very well, so you don't get a lot of width going on, and I'm just a huge fan of what this one brings to the garden. Guys, don't sleep on this one. One of my favorite maples ever is back, Acer palmatum Firefly.
So guys, we've got one that's going to sell out fast today. Today we've got Acer palmatum cotton candy.
Cotton candy, sweet and low.
Let me see that Tootsie Roll.
All right, guys, cotton candy is a classic. This is a great introduction from Del Lauck's nursery. This is, if you watched our whole breakdown, we actually did a whole video on Del Lauck's and Jonathan Savlich. They're the people that brought you Lillian's Jewel. And this was one of the last introductions by the late, great Del Lauck's of Lauck's Nursery. Love what this one does. It is so pink, so colorful. One of the most pink Japanese maples you'll ever see. Stay tuned for an upcoming podcast on the top 50 pink Japanese maples. You'll have to see where cotton candy lands on the list.
Guys, cotton candy, awesome plant. A lot of these even have pink swirling in the bark, but these were some of the trees that I did the examples on how to prune back trees to increase variegation. And you get more of that pink swirling in the bark, you get more and more variegation. So check out that video if you hadn't yet, but cotton candy is one of the most pink selections of that Arita no Nishiki style of any of the Japanese maples.
Oh, huge fan of this one. Guys, it is one of the most exaggerated of the Arita no Nishiki style. You get a ton of pink in there, hence the name, and it just gives you a light, fluffy appeal there in the garden. This one's going to look great in morning sun or late day shade. That's kind of the ideal setting for this one. I like to put it in a container when it's young and kind of play around with it. If you have it in some more shade, you'll get more whites. Giving it morning sun will actually pick up that intense pink color.
Yeah, awesome, awesome plant.
All right, guys, next up, back by popular demand, we've got Acer bajirionum Naruto.
Guys, this thing looks like paper origami birds in flight. And that's really where it gets its name. It has an upright habit, but as this tree gets thicker and thicker and more upright, this foliage curls, and you can even see it on these young plants. And when you're looking into this tree, it looks like origami birds flying in the sky.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
I like how the curl to it almost makes it look variegated. It's a unique approach. Like the bottom side of the leaf is lime green. This tree goes to an exceptional golden yellow to orange in the fall. You get some exceptional bright yellows on this one. Awesome plant. Our friend Taka Kobayashi told us that Naruto and Tancho are the same plant. So you'll see Acer bajirionum Tancho sometimes. We list it by what he says is the original name there in Japan, Naruto. Amazing plant. And you can see how it looks like a group of birds taking flight, like origami birds. You kind of get that feel to it. Really cool plant. Yeah, don't confuse this one for sick. It's amazing. I love what it does. I have had horticulturalists come to our nursery and try to water this one because they were afraid it dried up. So it might be more of a maple collector's taste, but it's a super fun plant. And you know those tridents are super durable.
Now, one thing that's unique about this plant is just pushing new growth. The new growth actually comes out a little flatter, and as it starts to age, it curls up. So it curls up fairly quickly on this one, but if you see a new growth coming across that's flatter, don't worry, that's not a reversion. This one doesn't revert. That's just simply young new growth.
This is a good one.
This is a good one. We've got some great size 2 gallons. Acer palmatum, Alpine silver thread. As you see, they've got some good size. I'm 6 foot. I mean, this is a tree that's growing more in popularity in the New England area. I mean, this tree is really awesome for having that creamy white leaves with deep green reticulation.
Don't let him lie to you guys. He's 5'11 3/4. He's always been trying to get an inch in. These are awesome. Alpine silver thread is a complete winner. It is an amazing plant. I love how white this one can get in some heavy shade. Give this one some heavy shade and it could get very ghostly. You can get some pale white coloration to it. I'm a huge fan of it. Now, that green mint color you get, especially when it's at its widest phase, is awesome. You kind of get this etching throughout every single leaf, and that's what reticulation is. You get that etching through every single leaf. You know, a lot of people that deal in snakes know what reticulation is because they call snakes reticulated. Well, if you're afraid of snakes, don't think of it that way, but it's a cool plant for that reticulated veining throughout each thing. You kind of see that etching. It looks like somebody drew an outline through every single part of the leaf.
Now, the fall colors in Alpine silver thread are bright yellows to hints of orange in it. Some of these plants are really starting to mature up very nicely. I mean, as we can see here, some of these even have some seed on them.
Right.
That'd be an awesome thing to look through to see what else you could find down that way.
And guys, we keep our prices, pretty fair. So check these out on these 2 gallons. I think they're a steal. They're not going to last long. Alpine silver thread. Now, coming up here in a 3 gallon, we've got an even taller one. So if that one was Tim's size, this one's Matt's size, maybe Brian's size. I don't know. Brian's bigger than me. We got Acer palmatum Sumanagashi in a 3 gallon.
Guys, Sumanagashi is an awesome red upright. It has a semi-pendulous habit, so as it grows upwards, it spreads out. It's one that's noted for having a really nice yellow to orange fall color, but for a red that then goes to that yellow to orange, I mean, it's very popular because of that. But it has a very vigorous habit and really makes a nice sized tree.
I like this one because it's kind of semi-pendulous. You get an upright tree, but it does put some width onto it. And a lot of that branching will kind of hang down. I wouldn't consider it a semi-pendulous to say a Murayama, but it does make a really fun complement to a Murayama. It is that intense dark maroon foliage and just a gorgeous tree to have in the landscape. It's one of those older Japanese cultivars that's always popular in the trade.
Now, a cool thing to note, Sumanagashi was one of the parent trees to English lace.
Yeah.
So English lace, which is one of the more upright lace leaf styles, you can find seedlings similar to it by looking through Sumanagashi.
You're giving away too much, dude. Come on, man.
Hey, I like giving some of the cool stuff away. I like people understanding the history behind some of these cool plants.
All right, guys, last but not least here, we've got Ginkgo biloba Saratoga.
Guys, Saratoga is a ginkgo that was found and introduced by the Saratoga Horticultural Research Station in California. It's extremely hardy, very vigorous, but the thing that's really unique about it is the leaf is one of the most maidenhair of any of the ginkgos. It really has that maidenhair foliage to it, where the leaf goes up, doesn't divide down the center, but really just has a nice rounded edge to the edge. I mean, it's an awesome, awesome ginkgo that still gives you some amazing yellow fall color.
I can't think of this tree without thinking about the late, great friend of ours, Tom Cox. We loved filming at his place. Tom passed this year, but what a good friend. And he had an amazing Saratoga there in the landscape. Go check out our whole video series on the Cox Arboretum. I think you'll be blessed by that. Tom was just such an inspiration to our nursery. And Saratoga is an amazing ginkgo. He has a gorgeous specimen of that there in that landscape. And we've seen it in some amazing fall colors before. It is a showstopper. I love that uniqueness of leaf. So that leaf is more maidenhair, meaning it looks almost more like a maidenhair fern than a ginkgo. So that leaf is completely rounded, with a little zigzag on the end. It doesn't have that cupped in look like you see with something like autumn gold. Really a great plant, and for that reason, it gives it a very unique texture in the garden, but also it looks really cool when it gets that peak fall color. Just looks like something different.
Now, new growth on Saratoga can actually have some long divisions on the new growth, but as that matures, it matures to that sort of rounded to flat on the end of the leaf. I mean, Saratoga, very unique leaf. With all ginkgos, give them lime. They love lime. That allows them to take up soil, or take up fertilizer and water more efficiently out in the landscape because they like that more alkaline soil. So Saratoga, an awesome upright male selection. That means it doesn't fruit of a ginkgo. That's something very unique and very different.
Guys, come see us very soon. We're afraid how soon it is, actually. We're terrified how soon it is. But come see us Memorial Day. Last year we had over 750 people show up. We love you meeting our staff we have here. We have some amazing people that work here. We love, getting to show you around the greenhouses. We were closed for 2 years, so we didn't get to do this for so long. And we just love seeing maple collectors and sharing that camaraderie. I know Michael James has had his hotel for like a month already for Memorial Day, so you're gonna have to beat him to the gate. That guy was knocking on the gate last time at 6 a.m. sending me text messages. So there's a lot of people lining up there. There's gonna be some amazing plants that we'll have on display for the first time ever here on Memorial Day. That's gonna be May 29th of 2023 if you're wondering. So if you catch this late, guys, we do it every year on Memorial Day. And we don't hold back. We break out all the stops for Memorial Day. You're definitely going to want to be here.
So the hours are from 8 to 4. You don't want to show up at 4 when we close because there's more of a hard cutoff there at 4. We got to get our employees that came in extra early. We got to get them home after they get in at home and eat some supper. But guys, thank you all so much. Make sure you smash that like button before you leave. Share this video with your gardening friends. Make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube. And always make sure you're subscribed to us on MrMaple.com. because we put out this full, cool list of plants coming out every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time each and every week.
Hey, guys, let me ask you a question. If you add something to cart, does it hold it for you?
If you add something to cart, does it hold it for you? No, it doesn't. So it may sell out if you just add it to cart.
We sound like we're beating a dead horse because we tell you that, guys, every week, but inevitably there's somebody that says, I had it in my cart and it's sold out. So just so you know, some of our hotter items will sell out quickly. So you may want to check out with that and then go back and complete your order. It's a great way to get what you're looking for. You can always talk to Jody too and make sure you combine your orders if you need. We really appreciate you shopping on our 10 at 10s, guys. You've made this spring one of our greatest springs of all time, and we're not done yet. We're going out with a blast at this open house, and we've got some insane 10 at 10s lined up for you for the next few weeks. I hope you guys will tune in.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great, awesome, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious day.